Y'all ever think about the fact that in one of the most supernatural cities in the world, there also might have been a secret society of creatures and monsters? Yes. Welcome back, gang. We discussing Miss Marie Laveau today. Talked about her in other videos before, but let me open up your eyes a little wider. And if you don't have time to watch this video, that's fine. That's cool. That's cool. Just save, follow, and come back later because it's time for story time. So Marie Laveau is one of the most powerful practitioners in history. But what if I told you her power didn't just come from magic alone? It came from her connections. Almost like a spiritual socialite, if that made sense. I didn't even know you could combine it too, but it do make sense. See, New Orleans has always been a city where different worlds meet. African spirituality, European folklore, and Caribbean tradition. The transatlantic slave trade created more than they thought. And with that came things that weren't exactly humans. We're talking shapeshifters, creatures that could walk as people do, things that live in the water, and some things that don't even age at all. Or seems to not age, I should say. And here's the part people don't talk about enough. Every one of those groups needed someone, a practitioner, a mediator, a witch, someone to keep their secrets, perform their rituals, protect them spiritually, of course, and handle things they couldn't do themselves. And that person was Miss Laveau. Because think about it, gang. If you're a creature, a monster, living amongst humans before, the government started housing them and protecting them, allegedly, who were they actually going to trust? They would never trust the church. They knew what was going on in the church before we knew. And some of them were doing it with the church. None of them would trust the law. I mean, we know they all paid off. And some of these creatures are high officials. Pay these people off, so why would you trust them? So you go to someone who understands both worlds. I don't know if y'all know, but most cultures and most people have a spiritual woman or man they go to. This has been going on since the beginning of time. This isn't new. The government actually has practitioners, psychic, and others working for them. But I digress. Let me just get back to the story. So Marie Laveau. So there are stories that the people she knew in the city, the high officials, the elite, they weren't people at all. They came from Europe, blended into society, but were never fully human, which was very interesting to me. And instead of exposing them, she protected them. And in return, they protected her. So now imagine this, a quiet, hidden circle in New Orleans, not obvious to the public, but known though. If you knew where to look, a round table of some sort, witches, vampires, shapeshifters, werewolves, loup-garou, and other unknown creatures and monsters. But what if they all sat together at that table, exchanging information, making deals, protecting each other? Not necessarily because they liked each other, it's because it was the easiest way to survive. It's more of a you scratch my back and I scratch yours type of system. And Marie was right in the center of all of it, which explains something that people question to this day. How was she so powerful? And she was very protected in a time where that wasn't really normal. At the end of the day, she's still a black woman, and a black woman holding this high status. It was very interesting. She still was a very melanated woman, even though she was more of a fair skin. She had her hair wrapped. She definitely didn't try to fit in with them. She looked like a black woman. She was extremely wealthy, a businesswoman, owning multiple shops, I heard, selling even hair products, building influence, while also being feared and respected still. Because Miss Laveau, her power wasn't just spiritual, it was strategic. She had the access to their secrets, not just to the human secrets, secrets from things that people don't even believe exist. So what if the group wasn't just about survival? What if it was about protecting something? Maybe New Orleans itself, maybe something hidden in New Orleans. Louisiana, the whole state got something going on. You do know that. Are they planning something or worse? There's artifacts, ancient knowledge, weapons, things hidden in one of the most cryptic cities in the world. We have no idea what's in that city, to be honest, because the question is, all these different creatures needing Marie. I guess my real question is, why do they need her? Why couldn't they do it themselves? Why was she so important? Very, very interesting. And if you're new here, I've done, like I said, a past video about Miss Marie Laveau. I had kind of leaked the whole city of New Orleans knows that she's not in her grave. It's never been confirmed she being unalive. It is said she still walks the planet to this day. It's in a different name, city, still doing great work. What I find interesting about that is, of course, y'all already know all of this is allegedly, hypothetically speaking, for me. Some of her family members are my supporters. They follow me. And not once did they deny or say, no, I was wrong about her still walking around, still living. I thought that was very interesting. Beautiful women. They all kept it really cryptic though. They didn't tell me much. But the whole family still is very Creole, and some of them still do spiritual work. So I thought that was very interesting. Family never stopped. Alright gang, before this video gets too long, I know I'm about to take some of y'all down a rabbit hole. That's what this is about, right? I'm Cube of Lore. This is Forbidden Lore Season 2. If you like content like this, you want to see it inside the algorithm, don't forget to engage. Y'all already know, repost, save, comment, and like. Put the notifications on. Y'all know sometimes I get shadow banned. I don't know. I don't even be doing nothing, y'all. If you're seeing this from YouTube, make sure you subscribe to both of my channels, Cube of Lore, all my supernatural, cryptic, creepy content like this one. Cube Oxley page. I have more mukbangs, more story time, more fun, more y'all getting to know me. More the vibes is over there. And don't forget I'm a streamer. I stream on Twitch TV at Cube Ox, same name across all platforms. My comic book Ancestral Shadows drops this summer. And trust me, you don't want to miss out. A lot of this lore have it wrapped up nicely in a book for you guys. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Oh yeah, if you new here, you made it this far, well, you might as well follow, friend. What's up? You're not messing with me, you don't like me. Stay there this whole time. You watched the story, you enjoyed it, you enjoyed me, but you didn't follow me. Dang, I'll make it hard for a creator to grow nowadays. All right, as usual, gang, it's all allegedly, hypothetically speaking. I love y'all. I'll meet y'all in the comments. So just call me back. All right, peace. Y'all know Marie Laveau was powerful, but what if I told you her daughter might even be more dangerous? Now, in part 1, we talked about how Marie Laveau wasn't just a voodoo queen. She had connections. So if you didn't watch that video, pause, save it, go back and watch that video, then come back. The rest of y'all, I'm assuming everybody's caught up. Y'all know I hate long intros. So let's just get right into it. So Marie Laveau, power didn't end with her. It was passed down. Marie had a few daughters, but this one name was Marie Laveau as well. She was born in 1801, a free colored woman of New Orleans, at a time where that alone was rare. She was a healer, herbalist, midwife, and spiritually. People traveled hundreds of miles to see her and her mother, not just for readings, but things doctors couldn't explain or even fix. It was illnesses, family problems, even people facing death. And we all know physicians of those times just didn't know enough information or medical practice. So Marie would even sit with prisoners before execution. She would pray with them, feed them, and sometimes, strangely enough, she would get their sentence reduced, which is unheard of a woman during her time, especially a black woman. That's influence right there. Way before social media and TikTok and all that, these were the first influencers. But here's where the story gets deeper, gang. Marie wasn't just spiritual. She was extremely intelligent. She was smart. She owned her own shop, did hair for the wealthy women in New Orleans. While she was doing their hair, she was listening. She was learning a lot of secrets from them women, which makes a lot of sense. The housewives at a hair salon, yeah, I know they was going crazy. Their mouths were probably running like water. And talking to black women sometimes, you feel like you're talking to a therapist. So I could see them, you know, really ranting and carrying on to Marie. We learned about their family drama. They had money problems, affairs, everything. But now that's enough about Marie. This video is about her daughter. She only had a few that survived to adulthood. This is one of them, Marie the second. The problem with this Marie, she confuses a lot of people in that time. So that's why the stories get mixed up sometimes. Because her name was Marie Laveau as well. But the issue was that she looked just like her mother. So much so, people believe Marie Laveau never aged, never died, and she was immortal. Or was she? So her mother mixed a lot of her voodoo practices with the Catholic tradition, you know, to make them feel comfortable, to survive during that time. Her daughter, she didn't hold back. She was known for being more theatrical, more public, holding rituals on St. John's Eve, bringing crowds to the water, and allegedly practicing a darker form of voodoo than her mom. More raw, more direct, less filtered for society. Some people even said she walked around a snake around her neck just like her mother. But ladies, imagine this. You being a little girl watching your mother command that kind of presence she did, and then stepping into that role yourself. That's not just like an inheritance. That's a legacy. And here's the part that ties back to part 1. If Marie had connections to powerful people and things that necessarily weren't human, maybe even shapeshifters, then her daughter inherited those connections as well. Same secret, same protection, same access, possibly a different way of using it. So I wonder, what if Marie wasn't just building power for herself? What if she was building something for the next generation, and the next generation, and the next, and the next, and so on? A system, a network, a society. And her daughter just didn't inherit it. She expanded it. People thought Marie Laveau was immortal, but maybe it wasn't because she lived forever. Maybe it's because her power never died. It just transferred to the next. It is said that Marie Laveau's daughter might have been even more powerful than her mother. We got less information on her than her mom, which is crazy. That was only what, like 200 years ago she was alive, and we don't have any info. Let me know if y'all want a part 3. I can tell you about the ritual of St. John's Eve and how Marie II, she ended up traveling all over. She went to Mississippi, the Caribbean. It's even said that she was doing work in Jamaica. New Orleans voodoo is heavily influenced by Haitian voodoo, West African tradition, and a Caribbean spiritual system, you know, like Ifa. All right, let me stop here before my video gets too long. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Hopefully I don't confuse y'all too much on Marie Laveau and Marie Laveau II. I'm Cube of Lore. This is Forbidden Lore Season 2. If you like content like this, you want to stay on this side of the algorithm, don't forget to engage from the bottom. Y'all already know, repost, save, comment, and like. And if you've seen this from the tube of the U, make sure you guys sub up. Cube of Lore is my channel with all my supernatural, creepy, cryptic content. And Cube Oxley is all more of my fun content. More lives, more mukbang. Y'all get to know me more up there. Don't forget to follow my stream. I'm on Twitch TV at Cube Oxley across all social media. I love y'all. I appreciate you. And as normal, it's only for entertainment purposes, all allegedly, hypothetically. And don't forget, my book, Ancestral Shadow, comes out this summer. So if you like supernatural stories like this, trust me, the characters in my story is going to give you a run for your money. Did you know people used to say they saw Marie Laveau after she was already dead? Welcome back, gang. Ask and you shall receive. This is part 3. Story time. Marie Laveau, the Voodoo Queen herself. And hey, if y'all don't have time to watch this video, that's cool, that's cool. Just save the video, follow, and just come back later. Y'all know I hate long intro, and we just gotta move on. So if you didn't watch the other 2 parts, go watch them now. You may not even understand what I'm talking about. So by now, at this point, it's 1881, and Marie has passed away. At this point, she just wasn't a woman anymore. She was a legend. Thousands of people knew her name, and thousands also feared her. And even more believed that she wasn't gone, because right after her death, people started reporting something strange. They were still seeing her. Same face, same presence, same energy, walking throughout the quarter like nothing ever happened. But here's where it gets deeper, because she allegedly had a daughter, and her name was Marie Laveau as well. People call her Marie Laveau II or the second, and she was just rising to power. And allegedly, she looked just like her mother, Marie Laveau Senior. Interesting. So imagine this. You heard the Voodoo Queen died, but lately you saw a girl that looks just like her, sounds just like her, leading ritual, speaking in spirit, commanding crowds of people. Would you think it's her daughter, or would you think she never died at all? Because some people truly believe Marie had unlocked something deeper, not immortality, but continuation. So Marie Laveau II, she wasn't just a replacement. She was different. Her mother, Marie, first one, she was very calculated, strategic, quietly powerful. She moved a lot behind the scenes. Her daughter, she was public. She even held a massive ritual on St. John's Eve during the summer solstice. I believe it's like the end of June. There's dancing, chanting, calling on spirits. And those weren't just performances. Some believe those public rituals, they were distractions, because the real rituals happened somewhere else, deeper in the swamps, away from the crowd. And there's something that a lot of people don't realize. Marie Laveau, the first one, and her daughter use a lot of African spirituality. So that's hoodoo, voodoo, obia, all of that mixed with Catholic tradition, you know, to make the others feel comfortable. Because I know they would have been immediately screaming to the top of their lungs, she worships the devil, she worships the devil, blah, 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 blah. But she threw in those Catholic traditions to throw them off. So she was still using a lot of her African system, because the magic Marie practice didn't start in New Orleans. It came from Africa, moved throughout Haiti, spread through the Caribbean before even reaching Louisiana. So it makes sense when I hear people talking about Marie Laveau's daughter, Marie II, may have traveled throughout the Caribbean and Africa as well, because she has influenced it. People still talk about her to this day. That's not random. That's part of the roots, because these practices were never meant to stay in one place. So what if Marie Laveau didn't just build power? What if she built a system where her name, her image, her legacy could live through other women, not just one daughter, but multiple? Because if people couldn't tell the difference between her and her daughter, then maybe that was the point. Maybe Marie was never meant to be one person. Maybe she was meant to be a legacy. Because let's be honest with ourselves. A black woman with that type of fame, stature, and financial freedom in the late 1700s and 1800s is unheard of. I'm sorry, it's unheard of. And all those celebrities, they have body doubles and clones, jump into different consciousnesses and all that. And in those times, Marie was a celebrity as well, maybe in the first of her kind. So I'm sure she has a way as well, or know of a way, to keep her body going or to extend her life. Who knows? I'm just not gonna say it's far-fetched. I don't know. I see where they're going with it. This is weird on my screen. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but yeah, I see a lot of y'all questions. Y'all asking me, did she have a daughter? Yes, she had a daughter as well. Don't hate me for that, but I heard that she named her Marie as well, and she looked the same as well. So I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna DM some of the family members. I know some of them follow me and support me, but their line is pretty big now. So any of y'all from the line, if you guys feel like sharing a little extra information, know you guys are already up here and you guys already follow me. I would love to listen. I would love to hear. One thing about Marie Laveau's family, they never confirm or deny. They pretend as though they don't know too much information. They act as if they know as much as we do, gang, but we know that's not possible. As well as our family still practices. Yes, most of the women, they're all Creole women with ability. Let me stop because I'm telling too much of their business. I'm Cube of Lore. This is Forbidden Lore Season 2. Let's end the video here before it gets too long. I'm so interested to see what you guys think in the comments about this one, because I don't know if we're going to get to the bottom of this, about Marie or her daughter or her doppelganger, or is she the same? Who knows? If you like content like this, you want to stay on this side of the algorithm, make sure you engage at the bottom up. Y'all already know, repost, save, comment, and like. And if you guys see a few glitches during this video, I apologize. I don't know what's going on, but I understand the energies and frequencies. You're talking about certain things. So just like the Appalachian Mountains, we hear nothing, we see nothing, we just move on. Hey, if you viewing this from YouTube, make sure you guys sub up, you comment, you like. I have 2 channels, Cube of Lore with all my supernatural, cryptic, creepy content like this, and Cube Oxley's more fun, live, mukbangs, IRL content. Don't forget to put all my notifications on, because my book Ancestral Shadows will be dropping soon this summer. And if you like to learn about different practitioners, African spirituality, secret lines, legacy and power, you're gonna love this. Trust me, very similar to Marie Laveau's story. And as usual, gang, it's only for entertainment purposes. All allegedly, hypothetically speaking. I don't know Marie, never heard of Marie Laveau. I know nothing. And if you guys would like to support my stream, why does it keep glitching like this? This is crazy. At Twitch, Cube Oxley. It's the same across all platforms, Cube Oxley. But that's where I'll be live. If you guys want to chat, if you have any questions, that's where you can find me. All right, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'll call y'all back in the next video. Matter of fact, y'all call me back. All right, peace. Ooh, this sounds like vampirism, necromancy. The Egyptians practiced this when they wanted to continue on their lifespan. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Spot on. Let's get there first. Also, did y'all know the daughter of Marie Laveau might have died during a ritual in the water? Allegedly, because that don't even sound right. Welcome back, gang. So what are we on, like part 4? I'm losing track. All right, let's get into it. I know I hate long intros. So if you don't have time to watch this video, just save, follow, come back later, because it's time for another story time. Now, if y'all been following the story, Marie Laveau, the mom, she wasn't just a voodoo queen. She was literally one of the most powerful women in American history. She was a healer, a spiritual leader, and a woman with connection and secret. And she was very known with the elites. After she passed away, her daughter, Marie Laveau II, stepped into her place. The people said they had the same exact faith, the same presence, the same legacy, but 2 completely different people, supposedly. So we left off at the daughter and her rituals. So like I said, she had mass gatherings at Bayou St and Lake Pontchartrain. Everybody said it was wild though. Dancing, singing, chanting. It was a lot of people. Like thousands would show up, watching her dance, watching her chant, and calling on the spirit. I just find that part extremely interesting, because how everybody, without phones and TVs and internet, how did they all know about this woman and her mom to come all the way to Louisiana? Just very interesting, but let's continue the story. So the locals said Marie II moved way differently from her mom. While the first Marie worked using her strategy and blending her Catholic tradition with her African spirituality, her daughter allegedly was leaning more to the dark side of voodoo. They said not just healing, influence, control, even harm, depending on the request. There are even rumors that she used her position in the city to operate behind the scenes. And please, y'all, take this with a grain of salt, because the people that's reporting it was most likely the people against her. All the African spiritualists I know, I read their book, and I get a lot of oral history from the elders, and no one from the African spirituality said any of this. So it seems like propaganda again. You guys trying to slander this lady's name. Y'all lucky she couldn't sue y'all for slander defamation during those times. Y'all have to understand, she knew the secrets just like her mom, the way around the city, how to get things done. So for me, it seems like First Marie was a little bit nicer, and like they said, she used more strategy. She had a kind of divide and conquer type of mentality. But her daughter is like a war general. She's coming after whoever comes after her and her people straight up. Because of course, they're gonna come after the black woman that knows the secrets of the city in and out and the people in it. There was no need to hold titles like governor or mayor, because they was running the city. So it said that Marie II, yeah, she inherited the beauty salon where all the white women elites come, but it also says she had a brothel. I'm gonna assume she had just a bar and they would just exaggerate it. Again, slander and defamation. Because what reason would she really have a brothel for? I mean, she could have, but I don't know why that's important history. So I can't confirm or deny that, because there's no picture, no readings from the elder. This information is just coming from the elites and the locals from that time. So you do the math. You know, it's the others. They're saying all this. But it could be possible. Brothels are just like today's strip club. Powerful men would come, hang out, and exchange secrets. So if she did own one, it was part of the plan. Because remember, information is always power. And just like her mother, Marie II, she knew how to use it. So Marie II, she had like, you know, snakes like her mother. Mother would always walk around with a python. But now that she's doing it, they're calling it demonic. She's all to the devil, blah, blah, blah. But it's a whole symbol of power and her protection. This is deep African spirituality. So now this is when racism comes around voodoo, because these women weren't only holding their own ritual, which was public by the way, but they were also teaching people. So all the oppressed people was actually growing, learning, remembering everything that been passed down to them from their ancestors. So the views on voodoo quickly got changed. Voodoo was being ushered towards cult status, which is completely wrong. And that cult status still to this day occupies this African system with a mix of a little bit mystique. Now here's where everything gets eerie. There are rumors that after Marie Laveau, the mother, passed away, her daughter secretly moved her body, exhumed it, and relocated it to stop people from digging her up, trying to take pieces of her remains or any power or weird stuff, you know, people do. As well as she was buried with like, you know, artifact, probably a few amulets, which why today everybody knows in New Orleans, I'm pretty sure the whole Louisiana knows, that she's not in that family tomb. Think her family would be that dumb? They don't know where she is. Y'all won't be channeling her. And also, y'all, I don't believe her family owns that shop. Just keep that in mind. Here's a wild story that's pretty unrelated but related at the same time. In 1982, y'all know that music group, the Misfits? They were actually arrested in New Orleans because they were trying to dig her grave up. That's wild. Like, why would they try to go dig up an old deceased black woman? This weird. But here's the most chilling part of the story. So allegedly it said Marie Laveau II passed away during a violent storm. He was at Lake Pontchartrain in the middle of a ritual in the water with her follower, calling on something deeper. When the storm turned, she was gone. She never came back. Allegedly, of course. I think she just did a disappearance act just like her mother or doppelganger or whatever they are. Because how they got the same face, same name, the same power, but their mother and daughter, and they both became legends differently. They both surround mystery, and they both passed away mysteriously as well. So what if Marie Laveau was never meant to be one person? Maybe she been doing this for a long time. We just started catching on. Maybe there is always supposed to be a voodoo queen. Maybe we have one right now that truly never dies, because the power has to be passed down, I should say. Because listen, in ancient Kemet, which is today's Egypt, they have these huge megalithic coffin structures that they can't even move. I read something that said they had to get dynamite to blow some of them open just a little. In these chambers, they would transfer their consciousness. It would allow the old body to heal while they jump into the new body, and vice versa. So I thought this was interesting, because y'all remember Apocalypse from X-Men? He did the same thing. And look what it says. Oh, my consciousness is infinite. My material essence is finite. I have been forced to take many hosts and so on and so on. I can read it if you want. They said this is a celestial machine, pairs genetic decay. I'm not gonna tell me this is fake. How advanced science is right now, on top of how advanced civilization was even in those times, the science they stole from them leads me to believe it probably was the same person. But I don't know if y'all know, scientists can now take a skin cell and can actually make an early stage human embryo out of that. Of you, yes. They allegedly said they are aborting and terminate those beings before they come to full term. Allegedly. We know they probably not. But yeah, they've been doing it. I feel like Marie Laveau did something similar to that. We just don't have the technology and information yet. They've been doing this probably for thousands and thousands of years. Look at Get Out. So many ways to get your consciousness in another body. Look at the Bible, talk about clay all the time. Was this really Marie Laveau's daughter? I don't believe so. I'm sorry, I think this was Marie. Listen, this is what I think would happen. You try to play nice with them, you try to, follow their rules, but they pissed her off. They pissed her off. So she said, this go around, we're gonna do things my way. Because when she was doing voodoo the first time, they wasn't attaching all that devil worshiping to it. And they had nothing to say about her snake till she kind of gave them a little pushback when she transformed into Marie Laveau II, the daughter. Because it doesn't make sense. The daughter was raised by the mother. Shouldn't she be following her mother's footsteps? Shouldn't she have been taught to fall in line for these people? You guys find me any parent, any child combo that look exactly alike. As adults, send me pictures, send me videos. I've never seen it in my life. Yes, y'all look similar. That's possible. But to look strikingly like the same person is a little wild. All right, before this video gets too long, which it is really long, almost 8 minutes. Y'all know I'm a yapper. I'm gonna let y'all go. I love y'all. I appreciate you. Don't forget to engage from the bottom. Repost, save, comment, like, subscribe, put my notifications on. And don't forget, all allegedly hypothetically speaking, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Don't forget, my book, Ancestral Shadows, is coming this summer. So if you like this kind of content, wait till my book drop. I'm about to take y'all for a loop.